I've been married now for 5 years, and sex is wonderful, and I highly recommend it. I'm super thankful for my wife, and I believe this about you, that when you were created by God, I believe that God's supreme ethic, the thing that makes God who God is that God is love. So everybody say, God is love.
God is love.
God is love. I mean, that's who he is. And so he makes us as men and women in his image, and he's given us this gift of real love. And what's interesting in this gift is that there's probably no truer expression of that real love, and there's probably no kind of more intimate expression of that than the sexual union between two people. It's a very intimate expression. So God is love, and God created sex. Can I give you maybe some Bible trivia? When God created Adam and Eve, he did not walk up to them one day in the Garden of Eden and go, "Oh my goodness, what is this thing that they're doing called sex?" He was not surprised by that because he actually created that. I believe that God's will for each of us is that we would have a real encounter with real love. And I actually believe that God wants your sex life to be hotter than the one-chip challenge. I believe that God has created for you to enjoy sex. I'm thankful for conversations like this that I've had growing up. I'm thankful that I had someone who showed me what the Bible said about sexuality. I'm thankful that somebody talked to Sierra, my wife, and I about this. We dated for 5 years. We were high school sweethearts. As terrifying as it is, I was your age when I met my wife. I did not know it at the time, and we dated for 5 years. And by God's grace, and it was totally by his grace, we actually were able to get married, and we were both virgins on our wedding night. We actually have our first child coming in July.
What?
So that's a fun thing, which is proof that I have successfully had sex at least one time in my life. We have a child coming in July, so I think I'm authority. I can speak on the subject tonight. I've never heard somebody say at the end of the day, "Man, I really gave God my teenage years, and I gave him dating, and I gave him my love life, and now I'm at the end of my life, and I have a lot of regrets. I wish that I had just spent some more time sleeping around. I wish I had spent some more time just kind of living life for the party, living life for the now." I've never met anybody like that. What I typically hear, though, is a very different conversation as a pastor. Sometimes I'll walk into a conversation, and I'll do some counseling with somebody, and it's a married couple. And their marriage just blew up. It just blew up because of his pornography addiction that started when he was in middle school, and he never talked to anybody about it. Or I'll be sitting talking to the young woman who's raising a child by herself because she fell in love with Mr. President instead of Mr. Perfect, and he was a boy, not a man. And now she's raising a child all by herself. And you know what I hear in those conversations is, "I never thought it would happen to me." Come on, did you say that with me? It's just all of a sudden, the world crashed in around me. And what I notice in a common theme, this is how I really want to help you tonight, is that there's actually a way that you can live intentionally. Because we live in a world today where there is no margin. The margin is missing in our world today. Maybe it used to be that you could go through dating in your love life and you not have a game plan, and you could end up with real love and a great sex life. That used to be maybe how life was lived. But can I tell you that in today's world, if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a plan, I wore my camo today, not because I hunt, I love animals. I wore my camo today because I'm calling some people into a divine strategy, a mission, a plan with how you're going to end up with real love, end up with a great sex life. And can I tell you, if you don't have a plan, it's not going to happen by accident. It's not going to happen by accident, because we live in a world today where the margin is completely missing. We live in a world today where statistically 36% of the people in the room have looked at pornography today before coming to Youthquake Live. We live in a world today where you just see an advertisement and you're going to see someone who's mostly naked. Billboards, in magazines, you get on TV, more naked people. You get on Instagram, mostly naked people. You get on Snapchat, disappearing naked people. Everywhere you look, everything is naked. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's just everywhere. In our world today, the margin is completely missing. And so I want to offer you a strategy of how to find real love. So that you're not the person who says, "I never thought it would happen to me." That you would wind up at the end of the day saying, "I have no regrets. I'm so thankful I gave God my early years. I'm so thankful I gave him my dating life. I'm so thankful I gave him my love life, and I found real love." I think that the greatest resistance against this onslaught of temptation, the greatest resistance, it's better distance. I believe that if we learn how to put more distance between us and temptation, we have a plan for our lives, that we can actually end up with real love and a fiery hot sex life. So here's my question to you. What's your strategy? And do you have one? What's your plan? See, there's two big approaches. Let me give you one in the scripture. There's two big approaches. First one is found in Ephesians chapter 5. All right, everybody on the same page? We good? Let me give you two approaches. Okay, here's two approaches. First one is real love. Everybody say real love?
Real love.
Let me read you a scripture. This is Ephesians 5. Follow God's example, therefore, as dearly loved children of God. Walk in the way of love. Follow God's example as dearly loved. This is real love. This is the love that comes from God. It's a love that was proven by Jesus, as Jesus Christ loved us and gave himself up for us as a fragrant offering and a sacrifice to God. Everybody say fragrant offering.
Fragrant offering.
That Jesus' demonstration of his love for you and I was a fragrant offering. In many ways, it was as if we could say a love potion. And we would call it the love potion of real love. And it has one ingredient, real love. It's pretty simple. It's homegrown, organic, farm-to-table potion right here. Real love. But let me read you a second approach. So there's real love, and then there's other love. Everybody say other love.
Other love.
Other love is love potion number 9. Let me read you a different story. This is a very different approach. This is a young person who had no strategy, no plan, wasn't following an example, and because he didn't have a strategy, he didn't have a plan, he wasn't following an example, that he fell for kind of whatever was right in front of him, and then wound up in a trap that he didn't want to be in. And it comes from a book in the Bible called the Book of Proverbs. It's a book of wisdom. Even people who aren't Christians like the Book of Proverbs, because it's just wise, sound advice. Here's a story we find in that. At the window of my house, I looked through my lattice. I saw someone among the inexperienced. I noticed among the youth a young man lacking sense. Crossing the street near her corner, he strolled down the road to her house. At twilight, in the evening, in the dark of night. Everybody say, wrong place?
Wrong place.
Wrong time.
Wrong time.
A woman came to meet him dressed like a prostitute, having a hidden agenda. She's loud and defiant. Her feet do not stay at peace. She's got no peace. They don't stay at home. Now in the street, now in the square, she lurks at every corner. She's always there. She's always pressuring people. She's always in your face. She grabs him and kisses him, because she's pretty forward. Some of you guys are like, this girl sounds nice. I'd like to meet her. Girl that just walks up and says hello and kisses you. She didn't even say hello. She just, bam, all of a sudden. But we don't know this yet, but she has a husband. I know, she's bad news. And husband's not home right now, so she's kind of wandering the streets trying to see what she can get away with. She grabs him and kisses him. She brazenly says to him, I've made fellowship offerings today. I've fulfilled my vows. So she's trying to say, man, look how spiritual I am. I love God. I go to church. I was talking to a girl one time, and she was so excited about her new boyfriend. And so I asked her, tell me, is your boyfriend a Christian? Is he a Christian? She goes, absolutely, he's a Christian. He's wonderful. I'm like, okay, well, tell me about how he's wonderful. And does he go to church? No, he doesn't go to church. Does he go to youth group? No, he doesn't go to youth group. Oh, okay, so how do you know he's a Christian? Does he pray? No, he doesn't really pray a whole lot. Oh, how is he a Christian? So one time I sneezed, and he said, God bless you. You know, that's not a Christian. That's not the goal. That's not the goal, right? And here's this lady, she's like, how spiritual I am. I just made my offerings, I fulfilled my vows, and I've come out here to meet you, to search for you. And here I am, I found you. I spread coverings on my bed, richly colored linen from Egypt. The Egyptian cotton has been rocking it for a long time. I've perfumed my bed. Everybody say perfume. So she's got her own little love potion going on. She's got it with myrrh and aloe and cinnamon. And she says, come, let's drink deeply of lovemaking until morning. Let's feast on, this is so interesting, each other's love. Let's feast on each other's love. Say each other.
Each other.
Other love. It's other love. It's a love that's not based on the example we read about in Ephesians 5, where it's God's perfect love for us. It's a totally different love. It's a love that's based off of what I bring to the table as a man and what you bring to the table as a woman. And it's other love. It's not God's design for love. It's a totally different other love. And she's got this love potion that she's made. Now, the first couple ingredients are pretty easy. I know you might not be able to see this where you're sitting, but we got myrrh here. And that was one of the ingredients, myrrh. Does anybody have any idea what myrrh is? Anybody? Any ideas? Those sound like really great guesses. Okay, so myrrh. There we go. And then we have aloe for, in case they get sunburned. So we got aloe. It goes into this love potion. So now we got 2 ingredients in this love potion. And then, of course, we have cinnamon because... that's right. There's nothing like sleeping with another man's woman unless you're wrapped in cinnamon. That is the only way to go. Let me kind of pour this in here. So those are easy to catch. You saw this in the story, right? You saw that. Maybe you didn't catch the other 6 ingredients, though. You see, also in this love potion that she's making there's some lies. See, it says that she has this hidden agenda. So she shows up and everything looks nice, but really beneath the surface, she's got a hidden agenda. She's a liar. She really only wants to look good for a little while until she can get what she wants out of the relationship. And then when she doesn't get what she wants out of the relationship, he doesn't really have any time for you anymore. It's based off lies. It's a hidden agenda. It's saying, I want what's best for you, but really I want what's best for me. Has anyone ever dated that person? I say I want what's best for you, but really I want what's best for me. And then it says that she doesn't know how to stay at home. She's got no peace. And so part of this love potion is that we sacrifice our peace. And my love potion ingredients are going everywhere. And then what's this other one here? We have pressure. She's always on the street corners. Some of you know what this is like. You got involved in a relationship and then all of a sudden it's just so much pressure. Like you have all these expectations you got to meet for the other person. You have all these responsibilities, things that you never even asked for. You're worrying about things that God never intended for you to have to worry about. It's just pressure, 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 pressure. Did you call her? Did you text her? Did you buzz? Like, it's just pressure. And it's in this love potion. And then we have hypocrisy. She says that she loves God, but it's pretty clear that she's not following God. And then we have sin. She says, let's drink deeply of love-making. That's a great, beautiful code word. Isn't it nice how we call cheating with somebody else's marriage partner an affair like it's a party? That's interesting, isn't it? And we use these words and, we're just messing around. We're just hooking up. It's it's not really that serious. And we use words to hide what we're trying to say. But really we know what's going on beneath the surface. And so we add a little bit of hypocrisy. And then we add a little bit of sin. And then we got this last ingredient down here where it says, let's drink of each other's love, which is brokenness. Because at the end of the day, a man or a woman does not actually have the love within them that you actually need. Because a broken person can't heal another broken person. But yet, we know we're broken. We know we need a little bit of help. We know we want some love, and so we look into brokenness. And here's a whole lot of brokenness, and we guzzle it. Now here's the thing though, the guy doesn't know any of this is happening, right? He just sees all the aloe, and the cinnamon, and the myrrh, and the Egyptian cotton, and it sounds so great, so wonderful. And you don't realize that all of this other stuff is even in the love potion until it's a little bit too late. But this is what comes with searching for real love, where you can never find real love. This is what comes with choosing our own path. This is what we would call love potion number 9, the other love. And I want to help you drink the right love potion. I want to help you experience real love. And the first thing you got to do is you got to recognize that we need a new normal. Everybody say normal. Normal isn't working. We desperately need a new normal. You know what normal is? Normal today is that 65% of men and 55% of women will have an affair by the time they're 40. That's normal today. Normal today is that because of unwanted pregnancies, that there will be 60 million abortions in the United States and 1.5 billion abortions worldwide this year. That's 1.5 billion. That's like a fifth of the world's population. What's normal today is that almost 45% of children are born into a home without both a mom and a dad. I'm preaching to the choir right now. What's normal today is pain. What's normal? Normal isn't working. We seriously need a new normal. Seriously, in fact, I think we should go to the original, the OG couple of the Bible, Adam and Eve, right? This is God. And God makes Adam and Eve in Genesis chapter 2, and it's this beautiful love story. It kind of ends in Genesis chapter 2, verse 25. It says they're there, they're naked, and they're unashamed. Right? That sounds like a great deal. No shame attached to sexuality. Just we're naked, and we're unashamed, and it's beautiful. And the first time Adam sees Eve, we're not 100% sure, but we're pretty sure the very first thing he said when he saw her was, whoa, man. And that's how she got her name. We don't know that for sure. What we do know for sure is that the Bible actually says as soon as he sees Eve, he actually sings a song. It's poetry. You might miss it when you read the Bible yourself, but he actually sings her a song. And it's like bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. It's like the lyrics of a missing Drake song. They're just deep. And he just sings it to her. And it's this beautiful, beautiful love story. And it's God's normal. I see Adam's like, you come here often, girl? What's up? She's like, I just got made. New day for me, I don't really know. But it's beautiful because they're naked and they're unashamed. And we see that was God's original design. And now we see what normal is. And it's so far from God's original design. So few people, when they think of their sexuality, are unashamed. So few people, when they stand in the relationships, they would say, you know what, I'm really here and I can just be totally real, totally honest, and totally authentic. I don't have to be even afraid of this, blowing up in my face. I'm just naked and unashamed. There's no pressure, there's no hypocrisy, there's no lies, there's no hidden agenda. It's just real love and it's awesome. I'm naked and I'm unashamed. What most people experience today is a lot of shame and a lot of fear because they drank the wrong love potion. Now, a lot of times what happens is preachers go in and they start messaging us and you're like, oh, this is not for me because I'm so far gone by now. I'm so far gone. I have no hope. You have no idea what I've done. I am drinking love potion number 9 right now. I'm telling you, my life is filled with that stuff. It's filled with the pain. It's filled with the brokenness. I get it. All that. I've already had sex. What's this true love waits thing? How am I supposed to wait? So does that mean there's no true love for me? Can I tell you that God's grace is so much infinitely greater than all of that? Amen. It is so much greater than all of that. You might not have started drinking the right love potion, but you can finish drinking the right love potion because God steps into your story and he transforms it. Tonight's not about being a virgin or virginity. It's about purity before God with your heart and bringing him the gift of purity, saying, God, bless my life and do whatever you want with this. I want to be pure before you. I don't know where you're coming from, but can I tell you, you can choose purity today and it can radically change your story. Radically. We need a new normal. Now, anytime we talk about new normal, all of a sudden it's like, man, why does God have to put so many rules around sex? Right? Like, why does he have to, one person? You're talking about the one chip challenge? I'm supposed to do the one woman challenge for the rest of my life? Like, one person for the rest of my life. And I have to save that for marriage. And why would God put so many rules? And here's the thing. If you're thinking, why does God have to put so many rules? Can I tell you, you don't know God. You know rules that God gives, but you probably don't know God, the one who gives that instruction. See, if I go to Home Depot, let's say you go to Home Depot and you buy a chainsaw. For whatever reason, Home Depot sells a chainsaw to a 14-year-old, and you walk out with it. And now you have a chainsaw at home. Parents aren't home, it's just you, this is awesome. I bet when you open up that chainsaw, it's going to have some instructions in the chainsaw. You're going to look at it and you go, do not operate while drunk, do not operate in the rain, do not operate upside down, do not try to cut your dog's hair with the chainsaw. This is not used for popping zits. Like, there's going to be a lot of different stuff that comes with the chainsaw instructions. And you got two kind of options at that point. When it tells you don't operate this while standing in a bathtub, you have two choices. You can come to the conclusion that Home Depot must hate me and really want to restrict my freedom and kill my joy. Or you can recognize that Home Depot made the chainsaw. They know how the chainsaw operates, and they're not trying to kill your joy, they're actually trying to enhance your joy. So much more so with the creator of our lives, the creator of sexuality. He's the one who says, I didn't come to kill your joy. I came to enhance it. I came to show you how you can drink the real love potion and not get duped for the other one. Because you live in a world today where there is no margin. And maybe sometimes we need a little bit of coaching, and we need a little bit of instruction. We need to know how to get into greater distance because there's a margin, and I need to step over it, and then we fall into this love potion number 9. Guys, I gotta put greater distance. That's the best resistance. You need a new normal. But you know what else we need? We don't just need a new normal. We need better boundaries. So this is where it gets super practical. You may not like what I'm about to say next. That's okay. I'm going with the microphone. You may not like it. But the reality is, I will tell you, this is helpful. And if you look at this and you look at how you are currently living life, maybe, just maybe, if we were honest today, there's some improvement that can happen. I want to help you be successful. Successful. To be a sexpert. And can I tell you what it takes in this life? It's going to take better boundaries. Let's go back to that young man who was drinking the wrong love potion, right? This is what we see in him. It says, the woman comes and says, my husband isn't home, right? He went away a long journey. He took a bag of money with him. He'll come home at the time of the full moon. So she seduces him with persistent pleading. She lures with her flattering talk. Persistent, luring, flattering. When I was youth pastoring, I would get asked more than any other question, how far is too far? How far is too far? How far is too far? Where's the line? Where's the boundary need to be? Where's that margin? How far is too far? And I would say, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by how far is too far? And then they say, what if we do like everything but, like all the stuff, but everything but? And I'd be like, whose butt are we talking about? Because I think you're asking the wrong question. Because we don't ask that question, how far is too far, about anything else, do we? No one picks up a gun and says, there's only 2 bullets in this gun. I wonder how far is too far. It's like, I got away. No one walks up to an alligator and tries to do like their inner animal plan and says, let me open the alligator's head and stick it in. And all right, so far so good. How far can I go before the alligator wants to bite me, right? Like, we don't do that. You see a poisonous snake. I hate snakes. I killed one this week in my yard defending my homestead. Right? No one sees a poisonous snake and goes, I wonder how close I can get my hand until it bites me, right? We don't ask this question about anything else because we know it's fundamentally a broken question. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you try to see how close you can get to the fire without getting burned? If there's a fire, you just run the other direction. See, we asked the wrong question because we're asking the question, what would be most pleasing to me in life? How do I get what I want? What would be the most pleasing thing for me? And so if you're asking what's most pleasing to you, you're going to try and figure out how far is too far. And God's delights me. But that's the wrong question. See, the right question is what's most pleasing to God? See, how can I live my life in such a way that's most pleasing to Him? How can I live my life in a way that honors Him? Another way of looking at it is it's saying, instead of trying to see how close to the fire I can get without being burnt, I wonder how close I can get to Him and be on fire for Him. That's my goal. You know where my boundary is? However close I can get to Jesus. And can I tell you that getting close to Jesus is not anti-dating? I'm a huge fan of dating. It's how I met my wife. I'm a believer. I'm not anti-dating. I'm just anti-dating if the core question is how can I please myself and not how can I please God? Because if you go into any relationship asking what's most pleasing to me, you will find something at the end of that road that is very unpleasing to you. But if you go into it asking what's most pleasing to God, you'll get to the end of that road and you'll find something that is very, very pleasing to you because He knows so much better than what we need. We desperately need better boundaries, and I desperately need a sip of real love. This is real love. Real love, I can tell you, it is just as good as advertising. It is amazing. We need real love. We need better boundaries. Let me give you some boundaries, okay? Let me give you some boundaries. This is the part you probably aren't going to like. I'm going to do my best here. I know I'm going to get super practical. The world's boundaries, by the way, are super low. God's boundaries are very, very high. I'm going to try to help you answer the question, how can I date and be most pleasing to God, okay? How do I get from here to there? So I'm going to try and answer that. Tell me, the world's boundaries are so low. They're like tracks 2 through 16 of a Macklemore song. Bad, okay? They're just bad, low. Here is the first thing. First step to being successful, seek Jesus first. That's the first thing. You want to have real love? You want to have fulfilling sex? This is the first thing you do. Someone's taking notes right now, and I am improving your dating life, okay? First thing you do is you put Jesus first. Here's the second thing. Watch what you watch. Watch what you watch. Boys, contrary to what you believe, your largest sex organ is not hanging between your legs. Your largest sex organ is dangling between your ears. It is your brain. And whatever we do with our bodies first starts in our brain. And if you don't watch what you watch, your largest sex organ will tell the rest of you what you're supposed to do. Is anybody sweating yet? Or is it just me? Watch what you watch. Dress for spiritual success. Ladies, God may have blessed you, but your blessings don't have to be shared with everybody. Now, and let me kind of be clear with this. Ladies, you are not responsible for if another boy lusts or not. That was never God's responsibility for you. You're responsible. That boy is responsible for God, what he's going to do with his life. You're responsible for honoring God with how you live your life. That's what you're responsible for. And I'm telling you, if you lower the standard and you don't dress for spiritual success, you will attract the wrong people to your life. If you want to attract the right boys, listen, you don't want a boy, you want a man. You want a man. That's what you want. And if all he wants is some breasts and some thighs, tell him to go to KFC. You don't have any time for him. You have no time for him. Just buy Felicia and go. That's all it is. Just buy it. Because you're dressing for spiritual success. You're raising your standard. You're attracting the right men into your life. Boys, every girl in here knows her future husband has never taken a picture in a mirror showing his six-pack. Dress for spiritual success. Some of you are like, I gotta delete it right now. Gotta go. Number 4, keep 4 feet on the floor. Keep 4 feet on the floor. This talks about spooning. This talks about a lot of different things. When I say, Blake, this seems restrictive, can I tell you why you need a boundary? So that your bad days don't ruin the best days that lay ahead of you. That's why you need a boundary. Getting on it, laying down together, that's not smart. We need a better resistance. We need greater distance. Number 5, no sleepovers. Now, I know that some of your parents have already told you this is not a good idea, but I'm amazed at how many parents don't care. No sleepovers. Can I tell you, you are not your best self late at night. And when it's cold, at 2 in the morning, and someone comes and offers you warmth of any kind, it seems pretty exciting, right? Don't sleep over, you're not your best self. No tonsil hockey. This is making out. Now, someone's like, listen, that's not, come on, making out. Are you sure? What is the point of making out? To get you ready for sex. I've had some pretty good times with sex in my life. Every single one of those journeys began first with making out with my wife. It's the thing that starts. And Ephesians 5:1 says, let there not even be a hint of sexual immorality. The word for a hint right there of sexual immorality, it's the word porneia. It means not even a hint. Don't even begin to start that process of arousal if you can. Don't play tonsil hockey. What it does is it'll lead you down a road that either prolongs a bad relationship or will ruin a good relationship. That's what happens. When you awaken love before it's time, you either prolong a bad relationship or you ruin a good relationship. Some of you are like, this guy's not much fun. Number 7, avoid dangerous places. Avoid dangerous places. I don't know what this is for you. I talked to one teenager one time. Every time you go over to this house with this group of friends, they'd always kind of talk about porn, and they would talk about the things that they're into. Another couple I know, they're engaged right now, both pursuing calls for ministry. Their dangerous place is their car. They can't be in a car by themselves. Sometimes the dangerous place is in between the second and third period behind that one locker. Whatever the dangerous place is, don't go there. Number 8, avoid time with the wrong people. Some of you are dating the wrong people. So your next action point is break up with the wrong people. Maybe you're sitting next to them. You can wait till after Youthquake, but it needs to happen. Number 9, leave room for growth. Can I tell you what I mean by this? Leave room for growth. When I met my wife, we were 16. When we got married, we were 21. I'm thankful for that. We were 16. I began doing the math. I was like, okay, 1, 2. She said she won't marry me until I get a college degree. We're at 3, 4. If I busted through college, I'm looking at a 5-year runway before we say I do. So that means I have to date successfully for 5 years. If I'm going to have success in marriage. And guys, can I tell you, some of you look at me like so skeptical right now, and it's because you believe a lie. The lie is that you can have what you want now and what God wants later. And so everything I'm saying is going in one ear and out the other. So no, I can have what I want now, and then God will have to give me what I want later. I can date now with the way I want to date, with me first, and then at the end, when I get married, all of a sudden, God, you're going to bless my marriage. Sowing and reaping. Doesn't work that way. So many marriages start with such deep fractures because they dated poorly. And you can live differently. We need a new normal. We need better boundaries. We need to live with the end in the mind. We need to live room for growth. So you're 15 and you're dating somebody. What's the runway on that if he or she is actually the person you're supposed to marry? And is the pace of your relationship right now going to be able to last 6 or 7 years? Because if it's not, you have already put a ticking time bomb into the relationship that will eventually blow up. You gotta leave room for growth. What's the runway here? Hey, here's the last one. I don't even know where my notes are. I found them. The last one. Find a friend. In the words of the greatest video game of all time, it is dangerous to go it alone. Normal isn't working. Normal's not working. I know this isn't normal, but you know what else isn't normal? Happy marriages and great sex lives. That's not normal either. And we are defining a new normal with better boundaries. That was such a weak clap. Real love is so delicious. So let's say, hypothetically, you pick a boundary. I'm just having a conversation with a lot of people that I've had so many times one-on-one with different teenagers, okay? So you pick your boundary. I'm not going to tell you your boundaries. I'll give you 10. Pick whatever, okay? So let's say your boundary is we're not going to make out. Okay, we're not going to make out. That's it. Because every time we make out, we end up going further, and it's just, we're not going to make out. So what's the thing that happens right before you make out? Oh, we spend a lot of alone time together. Can I tell you what your boundary is? Not spending alone time together. Because if you ever spend alone time together, you're not going to get into that place where you're making out and there's no more legs on the floor and you're rolling around doing dumb stuff. Because you're not spending time alone. So here's what happens. Now you have your worst day and you go past your boundary and you start spending a little bit of time alone. And then maybe you have a really bad day. Maybe you kiss. You kiss a little bit too much. And you know, we've already set our boundaries. We're not going to be alone. We're not going to do this. Can I just tell you? Because of where you set your boundary, your bad day has not destroyed your best day. But if you say, okay, we'll do everything but this, and our boundary is sitting right before this, on your worst day, you will do the thing that you vowed never to do. Because you need a better boundary. And it always starts the same way. You know, I'm not dating anybody right now, and I wonder if it's okay maybe if I just, look at something on my cell phone. I know I shouldn't, but maybe I'm not doing anything with anybody, and it's helping me not do anything with anybody. I'm just gonna just do this right here, and I just got that text message from that boy asking me to send him pictures, and we're not dating. Girl's gonna find out. He said he's gonna delete them right after, and I don't know, maybe it's okay. And then, oh wow, you want to date me? It's amazing. I've never really gone out on a real date before, and you're not really what I was looking for, but if I don't get in the game now, maybe I'm never going to get in the game, and maybe God isn't faithful to maybe I can just do that, and so you had this expectation about what dating looks like, and we're going to do this or not do that, or we're going to, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that, but I definitely don't want to lose you, because I have so much invested in this, so why don't I just a little bit, and okay, wow, it's our 6-month anniversary, it's so beautiful, it's so amazing, and we've already done so much, and I wonder if it'd be wrong just to celebrate for our 6-month anniversary, this new thing, and that'd be so great, and then all of a sudden, you were in the place where you vowed you would never go, because you asked the wrong question, and you were loading the gun, and you're dropping your head into the alligator, and you were holding your hand out, hoping not to get bit. But can I tell you what's on the other end of this? Where you've destroyed all of your distance. There is real love on the other side, calling you away from the other love that seeks to destroy, and is calling you home with grace and hope and redemption, saying, come home. Here's the last thing I'm going to leave you with. Be future focused. I'm going to have the dance team come back out. And I want to encourage you to be future focused. You were given today when you walked in a card. If you would, go ahead and pull that card out. It's a True Love Waits commitment card. I'm going to show it to you real fast. Can I tell you that God's design works? It just works. University of Chicago, they did a study, to find out who enjoys sex the most in the United States, they found out that the most enjoyable and most frequent sex occurs among people who are married, attend church weekly, and report the least amount of sexual partners. That's the people that enjoy sex the most and have the most sex. People who are married, attend church weekly, and report the least sexual partners. I would love for Playboy to write that article. Following God equals best sex. Well, they never will, because they only know how to drink from one potion. Love potion number 9. And it's deception, and it's confusion. They don't know what real love is. And some of you, you're like, I didn't know pastors could talk about this. This is a little weird. Pastors are great at talking passionately about questions nobody is asking. And I'm hoping that I'm preaching to someone today. These are questions that you are asking.
It's good, Blake.
Thank you. I'm hoping that I'm connecting with somebody. I needed this conversation when I was your age. If I didn't have this conversation, I'd be in a very different place. Very different place. This isn't in my notes, but I almost did not, try not to cry, I almost did not get to marry my wife because for the first 6 months, we did not have good boundaries. It was getting pushed further and further and further and further. And she chose to be a spiritual leader and call me out on it. I wasn't even being able to lead. Here I am, future pastor, couldn't even lead in my relationship. So we broke up. And then I had a conversation with Sean. It's the first time I ever talked to somebody about the fact that I've been looking at pornography since I was 8. And I can tell you that thing in me was destroying all the stuff around me, and I didn't even know it was coming out in these relationships. It was a lie. I've been drinking the wrong love potion for so long. I needed real love so badly, I didn't even know I needed real love. I didn't even know that the potion I was drinking in secret was destroying this thing I was trying to build in public. I didn't even know that it could so influence everything and that I needed hope. And so as we watch this dance and as you hold that card in your hand, I really want to challenge you. Today, some of you are going to take your first sip of real love. And you're going to drown out love potion number 9, that other love. You've been looking for love in all the wrong places, broken places. And I hope this dance encourages you, because when we come back out, you're going to have a chance to sign that card that's in your hand right now. And your future is worth it. Don't ever for a moment let the enemy tell you that because of your past, you cannot move forward. You can move forward. There is hope for you. Love. I'm believing for you a very different outcome than one that many people are walking down right now. Here's how the story ends of our young man. He follows her impulsively like an ox going to the slaughter, like a deer bounding toward a trap until an arrow pierces its liver, like a bird darting into a snare. He doesn't know it will cost him his life. And I feel like the Spirit of God is saying today, some of you are going to be set free from that trap that was meant to destroy you.
Amen.
28% of teenagers will experience sexual abuse before they're 18. That is the world we live in. And for many of you, this talk is, man, what do I do with this? For you, the idea of sex means scars. Just scars and just wounds. What do I do with all that? Can I tell you about the scars that Jesus carried for you? Can I tell you that he was scarred and he was beaten for your healing and wholeness? And that in this place that Jesus died, not just for the sins that you committed, but also for the sins that others committed against you. He can heal you for that as well. He can renew you and restore you and give you a fresh start. So start drinking. Let from your inside, from your heart, begin welling up real love potion. Today, someone is going to be set free from it. I want us to read this together. So if you would, go ahead and look that card in front of you. And this is a commitment that you want to make today, full of faith. We're going to read this out loud together. Okay? And this is a commitment that you're making. I want you to say this full of faith and full of confidence that whatever was meant to destroy you, God is going to use, he's going to redeem in your life. He's going to set you free. He's going to move you on a path towards real love. Let's read this together, full of faith. Today, I set aside the distraction of premarital sex and choose to pursue the plan and purpose of God for my life. Believing that true love waits, I make a commitment to God, myself, and my future mate to be sexually abstinent from this day until marriage. Come on, let's give a round of applause for that. That's amazing.